Senor Ortiz,
Hey.
you're alive, man. You ready to get this thing kicked off?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey. What do you do, KTTV? This is KT, and I am here with another episode of the Administrators Podcast with my co-host,
JoJo, baby. What's going on, KT? Let's do this.
Building. Look, man, here we are for another Sunday. I do like doing these on Sunday, man, because we never know what that Monday may bring us. And so, good way to get it set up. The only thing I do hate is that we don't get that Monday reaction from the market to talk about it. You know, but that's okay though, because Friday gave us enough, and then we got a little news from El Trumpet today, so we'll kind of talk about that in our news on what's going on with the crypto, man. But as we jump this thing off, man, how you been feeling, brother?
Man, look, we got a week left. Then spring break. Man, press that button.
Hold up, bro. Look, we got spring break coming, man. What's the plan, bro?
Right now, I'm thinking about I'm going to go home for a few days, see my mom, and then we might go to the casino. So.
Okay. Just chill, man. We know how you gonna do it, bro. Don't even play no games. Hey, man, shoot, for me, I don't even know what I'm getting into. Of course, I got rodeo. The thankful thing is God was looking out. So I got to work the rodeo on a Monday, which is the 10th. And then I don't have to work again until the 15th. Mm-hmm. Usually, bro, it'd be like a Monday and a Thursday or something where you'd be like, all right, bro, what I'm gonna do, man? But so I got the Monday and then I got that Saturday. You know, anything probably be back by Friday if you do bust a move on anything. So that'll probably be the play. Man, but we're gonna see. But other than that, just rest. And then, of course, ain't no work, so we got these markets.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, you got to get the bag exponentially bigger. But they were talking about summer school. I was like, nope. It's all right. I think I can get that bag. I can get that bag at the house, man. But let's talk about it, brother. Other than that, man, I think this week is gonna be a good one. Hopefully, bro. You know it's gonna be crazy. Kids gonna be anxious.
Yeah,
we anxious. But it's about to go down, man. I guess without further ado, then, brother, let's jump in some of this news. In today's news, wait a minute, let me go get the screen together so you can be able to see this. Bam. All right, so in today's news, crypto prices jump. Oh, this is the Wall Street Journal. So crypto prices jump after Trump announces 5 tokens for strategic reserve. You know, man, when the markets is going crazy, the dude will come in, figure out something, and then make it all go crazy. And what happened? Crypto prices surged Sunday after President Trump said he will move forward on the U.S. crypto strategic reserve that will include Bitcoin and Ether, as well as 3 smaller, riskier tokens. U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, said Trump in a post on his social media platform, Truth Social. I will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. Wow. Let's see if that boy gonna move that sheep. All right. Trump said the crypto strategic reserve will also include Solana, the Ripple-linked RXP, and Cardano. Unlike Bitcoin, which is the largest and oldest cryptocurrency, these tokens were created more recently and often by a small team, making them more susceptible to wild price swings and other risk. So it remains unclear how such a reserve will be created or whether it could bring any benefit to the country. Now, since this happened, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, as of Sunday afternoon, Bitcoin rose 9% from 24 hours earlier to around 93,000, while Ether jumped 11% to 2,500. Come on, man. Solana surged 20% to 169, and XRP advanced about 30% to $2.80, while Cardano soared nearly 60% to $1.02. Come on, man. What about all those people who got in at 30 cents? You just cracked the dollar. God, come on, man. You just got to be in these things. My Coinbase been popping up. All right, so what you think about this, Jose? Crypto is back.
I guess so. This is it. Crypto is now king, I guess. XRP, Solana. I remember back, not too long ago, dude, I had about 10, 15 Solanas.
Hey,
man, I don't know what. It's stupid, dog.
Hey, I remember them days, man. It was like that. I remember them Solana days, man. That's when we was messing with them wallets, man.
Yeah, them wallets, them NFTs, man.
Dude, I still got my NLT, dude. Dude, about one NLT, bro. Still got it, bro. All right. So what I wanted to look at was a quick Coinbase. So this is what I wanted to show. Let me share this tab. Okay, so this is the Coinbase. This is the monthly chart. And so for me, I look at the 4-hour chart, but I also look at this monthly chart. And so anytime that I can see a stock that is bouncing off of this, it would have piqued my interest. And so luckily, I did buy a few more Coinbase shares. I have not bought any options on it. I don't trust it that much, but I did buy some more Coinbase shares. So let's look to see how this will play out for tomorrow morning. Is it just a run up and then something crazy gonna happen and we run down, or is crypto about to head to 150? Let's find out, man. All right, man. That's for the news, man. Any last final thoughts before we close this section?
I just think that, if, like you said, Coinbase, if you keep up with all the different stocks like your Riot, your Mara, anything that's related to crypto, sometimes JP Morgan Chase has been linked to some of the crypto. So just keep an eye on some of the crypto related stocks with this news come tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I think Tesla has Bitcoin on the balance sheet, if I'm not mistaken. So they're about to take their ride as well. So let's look and see what we got, baby. All right, what we'll do, hey, we'll take a quick break. Then when we get back, we'll do a little heat check.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Administrators Podcast. Just wrapped up the news. Crypto is surging. Trump said he will move forward with the plan to create a crypto reserve, and quote, unquote, the United States will be the crypto capital of the world. And so crypto has been down. So if you have not, go back and check that out because it's a lot of things that's going on. So thinking of stocks, let's get into a little heat check because I think this could be a crazy week. Let's go. All right, Jose, are you ready for this heat check, man?
I am, man. I am.
Look, let me go and take this off before I share this because this is about to be crazy, man. I'm just gonna put it out there. Oh, okay. How am I gonna share this? Oh my God! Bam! Oh my God! What, do you see all that green out there, baby? Hey, man, looked like it was a good close to the markets on Friday. We see a lot of our heavy hitters that we were looking at the previous Monday are doing a little better. Look at our Mag 7. NVIDIA, who did take a hit in earnings, was last week. We did talk about earnings. They did beat earnings, right? Every time they are beating earnings, but the expectation for them is so big that people was like, meh. But do not be fooled. At the end of the day, the Blackwell chips are coming.
Yep.
Q4, you better be ready. $220 price target for NVIDIA. Just a little tidbit for that. But yeah, so look at Apple. We got our finance sector looking good. My leap for XLF. I got a few leaps on there. Looking pretty good. We're going to keep them rolling because financials, I think, will be the ones this year. Eli Lilly. Ooh, Lord, I've been trading this Eli Lilly since 748. My God, man. I missed it this week. I think Friday it took off about $15. Wasn't able to catch it, but that was the first time in a long time that I have not been able to catch it. I'm just going to put that right there for me. All right, next one. Look at All Energy. It's kind of been rough. My VST call has been getting my head bust. So we'll see what happens. Could be time to cut my losses on that. But look over here. Walmart, Costco, and that Costco is bad. Oh my God, Costco. Oh, Home Depot. All of these are looking in the green. And of course, we got Meta, who has been just seriously getting demolished. Coming back, got old Tessie still popping up. Hold up, wait a minute. Still got Tessie with 3.91% in a quick short time. Jose, what you thinking about this map, man?
Well, I'm thinking that, we had like you said, we had a really good close on Friday. Now, I have multiple different sources of where that's coming from. Some people said because of the debacle at the White House with Trump and Zelensky kind of like picked up the market at the end of the day. However, what I will say is that the market, like you just mentioned, some of these stocks, the market has been getting crushed, demolished. I think, we have been in a definite downtrend for a few weeks. It's not quite when you start thinking about all the different percentages and your numbers when it comes to, from being at the top, you still got a couple of ways to go back down or whatever. But I do think when you look at technicals and your RSIs and your gap fills to the bottom, the market has been getting waxed. And I think that we needed a reason to bounce. Now, the idea is does it keep going on Monday? That's the key, or was this a, 2-hour window where we just saw everything go up? What happens next? Do we keep that momentum? Because we have been getting really beat up lately. So I see, I don't know what catalysts are out there that could be to the negative or even the positive, but I think that when you look at sheer technicals for the month, we are due a bounce. And then when you go into this fear and greed, you'll see what I mean by it's almost time that we have a bounce.
Yeah, so I want to share a little bit of this chart to kind of show what's been going on. So this is the 1 hour chart that is on TradeView. If you can look and see what was going on Friday, time by time, right? So we have, let's put this in perspective. We have our 200-day moving average, which is here at 600, which is if we want anything to happen, we have to get above this line, right? So, but right now we're coming up on our 60-day, which is at 596.83. And so right here at the end, we did have a little quick push down on a rejection. So we'll see if buyers are strong enough to even get here. But we got to take this out. And then ultimately, if we do want to see hires over 600, we have to cross over this 200. If not, everything is still suspect. But there was an indication that things were about to blow. Because if we see this line down here, 582.53, it has been a strong line. Hold on, wait a minute. Don't get confused by those, y'all. Those just indicators for me. All right, well, I guess I'll go back to a shorter time frame and it shows how many times he hit that 582. But let's see if I can get down here to, okay, there we go. So if you can see, we danced around that over here. Right, then we came up and then we danced around it over here. Then we held, we were on our way back down to it here. But then what happened? Almost that triple bottom, baby. Then after that, to the races. But well, let's see what happens, because we see what's going on the 1 hour chart, right? And so we see we still got some big things going. So hey, I'm with you on that, man. They, like you say, we were due for a bounce. And if you look at the charts, we were bouncing at this level, 9:30. We came back again, 12:30. Right here, if you see, we didn't get all the way down, but this is my VWAP band. And so we did bounce at the bottom of my VWAP band, and that took us back up. And so that's always another thing. If I'm in a position, what I'll do is I may buy a bunch of them here and it drop, but I always get out if I'm scalping right before it gets to this band, because we always see that right here was a few places of interest where it just did not drop below, but it kept going back up. All right. Anything else on that, Jose?
I think, going back to those bands and that, your windows on that SPY, I think it's critical when we open up, by between 8:30, 9 o'clock. After that, we got to see what happens, depending on what direction we want to either go with calls and puts. One thing that I was also talking about this weekend with someone was that big green candle at the end of SPY, at the end of the day, in relationship to where we were and where we could go to the downside if we do go back, And so I think when you open it up and you go at it from a 3-month, 6-month to a year view, you can see that there's a lot of red between that big green candle and where we were at one point. So I do think that there's opportunity for us to still go back up and bounce from here, just because I think that we had been in a downtrend for so long, or not so long, but like fast. It happened so fast that we're sitting there in about a month, where you're just losing everything. So,
man, and I was looking. Hold up, wait a minute. About to sneeze. Look at this though, man. Coming back on this monthly chart, November was the month, man. November of last year was it. It came down, caught this. Oh no, this is 23. Look at this, 23. Came down and caught this 413 somewhere. And just think, bro, if you would have been right there, we have not came below that since, man. Been on the tail ever since, man. That is crazy, man, just to see that. We came down, bounced right back up off the 9. And so this is when it started getting rough, right? By October 24, election time getting ready. So that's kind of where we've been. But wow, just to see this, and this was every month. So if you just holding that thing and you watching the chart, you have nothing to fear. Even when we get here, it ain't time to sell yet. You just seeing what's happening. Man, come on, man. All right. It's all in the money is inside the charts, people. Okay, next one. We're going to go to our fear and greed. So with this tab, remember what we said about the fear and greed. Buy, right? Buy, start getting that position, start finding them, start loading, start your nibble right here. Because right now, everybody is selling. And so when others are greedy, be fearful. But when others are fearful, you better be greedy. You better be greedy, because right now the prices that we want, I'll go back in. I'll kind of look at. I want to show Microsoft in that regard, but yeah, extreme fear is the time. So start to nibble your positions, create a smaller position here, putting that stop loss neutral. We holding. Then by the time we get here, you already made your money because you buying over here while everybody else is selling, right? So we don't want to bottom feed too much, but at the same time, when it gets over here, is due for a bounce, just like Jose said. So, man, what do you got to say about that fear and greed, man?
Man, I think one of the things we were talking about earlier that I said we would, talk about here is the fact that we've been going from that, neutral fear to extreme fear now, and we needed a reason to go up and bounce. And so I think that while if you look at this 20, there could be an opportunity for a little bit more of a downside, but I do think that we're getting really close to. Now, let me just say that from a technical standpoint, from a index standpoint, because no one really knows for sure when it comes to whatever outside influences are out there. But I think some of all this stuff that's been coming out and has been said by a lot of different people, I think it was more so of a fear tactic, like we said before, the market is manipulated. I see this as a buying opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so be ready.
And the reason, and so that did remind me of kind of another thing that happened in the market was the PCE. So we got the January PCE that says income was up, spending is down. And so after the pre-markets like it, the Dow went from 190 points ahead of the print to 230. The S&P doubled from 10 to 20 points, and the NASDAQ swung from negative 13 to a plus 45. And so coming in as these numbers do what it feels like, after what feels like a disappointing data for either a solidly strengthened economy or a good reason for the Fed to keep lowering interest rates. Today, PCEs, which is Friday, report brings something for everyone to be happy about. Personal income for January more than doubled expectations to 0.9 from the unrevised 0.4 the prior month. Meanwhile, personal spending swung to a negative 0.2% from an unexpected 0.1% and the prior month's plus 0.07%. So income, people are, I guess, I don't want to say fearful, but people holding on to that money, basically what they're saying. And so remember what's happening with inflation. People are spending, and things are getting out of hand. But it's okay when people got money, as long as they not using it and spending, driving up the prices, because now we need to make more. Now we're getting inflated because y'all overdoing it. Hold tight. So this is what's good information is that even though people are still getting money, which means the economy is doing good, people still out here getting to the bag, they are spending less. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but right now for the Fed gauge, these numbers are numbers, not what's attached to it. And that's how they moving. So this would be something to say, okay, maybe we can keep on cutting interest rates because people are kind of slowing down and understanding what's happening. So like you say, man, all of these pieces kind of put into what happened that played into a little bit of probably run up from that, because I guarantee you that fear and greed was lower for the day. Like the previous close, exactly right here was an 18, right? So ain't no telling what we had because the market had dropped lower just that day. 1 week ago, it was 36, and 1 year ago, it was 76. So just understanding how we can move. All right, and the last piece that we got is our VIX for the heat check. So with this VIX, it is at $19. And so we all know that the previous when the VIX closes over 20, we really got to worry about things. And as we can see, as soon as we got 21, so we didn't get too much further than that. And then everything kind of reversed. But I would be interested to see, and I might need to do that Yahoo VIX because I wanted to kind of get that chart that kind of showed over time. Let me see here. All right, let me see if I can get this. Okay, let me share this tab instead. All right, so this is the Yahoo chart. And so it kind of shows what was going on. So our high, 228. When was this? Wow. Our high hit at $222 that day. And so, of course, that could be seen as our double top.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came on down, right? Man, the money is in the charts, man. Well, if you could just sit at the house and just see all this stuff happen, man, you just, man. But yeah, so we seen what happened. We had this double top right here, and then the VIX came back down. And so 19 is where we at. Let's see what happens on Monday. We got pre-market starting in about 2-3 hours. So we'll see what we get from that, man. But that is the VIX. People are still a little scared out here, but that fear kind of dropped. But we don't know if it's a fake out breakout.
Yeah, fake them out, shake them out.
I'm telling you, man, that show would lead liquidity or something. But hey, let's find out. We'll see what's happening. They could be just going up there to get a bunch of them puts, close them out, and drop on back down. Taking all that money with them. My God. Liquidity grab to the top. All right, man. What we'll do, let's take a quick break. And when we get back, I know Ortiz got something good for us.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, all right, y'all. We'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
Trading with Ortiz. Let's go.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Welcome to Trading with Ortiz, where each week Mr. Ortiz drops some of these good gems on us. The thing is, it be the same gems, it just be at different numbers because, as we know, fundamentals is there, the choice is there, but we cannot deny price action, and that is what we got to react to. So, man, what do you have for us this week?
Today we're, like you said, same ones, but we're going to recap, and then I'm going to go into something that I'm expecting from a couple of our, I guess, favorites. All right, so Here we go. And we're going to start off with our boy Tessie. So keep in mind that we have been getting crushed from this high of 474. This is the, the month chart. We have been getting demolished since December. And so we did spike a little bit because of what happened. RSI is still around 31. So because of the what happened on Friday, we do have a little bit of a turnaround that we had at the end of the day. You can see there in the day we kind of spiked up Friday. So we're going to see if that will help the momentum for the week. Because as you can see, even on the weekly chart, we were destroyed last week in Tesla. So critical numbers when it comes to the month chart, which is what I like to look at because we go and we base our calls a month out or, sometimes longer. We're still, 29, 30, RSI oversold. Our MACD looks like it could cross for a little bit of a downturn, but then after that, I expect Tesla to just move and shake. One interesting thing Kendrick said earlier is that Tesla, with their, on their balance sheet with that Bitcoin, if Tesla runs and they will run significantly. I'm going to say that one more time. If Tesla runs at any point between now and the time that we're, since we've been down, it's going to be a violent move. So I hope that everybody is ready for that once we actually get some type of hit from Tesla. Okay, so I talked about Rich Tech Robotics last time. And I also said that I was looking at a $2 entry. Anything under $2 would have been fantastic, right? So last week, we were able to make an entry at 185, guys. So we had been riding this wave of $2. We got down under $2. We waited. And so around 183, again and again at 185, I went ahead and added more shares of this rich tech. I did see some Twitter action that included, some robots out there. And so you cannot get calls on this just yet. But I definitely think that this is something that now we are still under $2 now. So I do think that this could be something that is worth getting into. Not long ago, it was almost a $5 stock. And so when you think about where it was before in the past, you're looking at, $7 to $8 stock. And so, I mean, I think that in the grand scheme of things, we are ready to get behind the notion that we're going to be using robots, and that's going to be happening in the near future. Look at this. Kit at one point was an $80 stock. They had some things go on. Most recently, we went back up to $6. So when you think about where we were at with them as well, we are now under $1. Guys, we are under $1. And so, yes, I picked some more up, some shares. And so now we're just waiting to see what happens. Couldn't find any detrimental news as far as, okay, are they going bankrupt? Are they going to be close to not being able to stay in the market? So definitely something that to look at. RSI way, we're at 28. So Kit, put Kit on your radar. And then, Palantir, of course, we had that Palantir that we had them earnings, and then we had that news go about, them not being involved anymore with, budget cuts, but that's not necessarily true. Doesn't necessarily have to be them that get cut because of the equipment or what their use case would benefit, the U.S. government. So we did get that little pop, like we said, end of day Friday, RSI under 30. So this is another stock that, because of where we're at, if people overreacted to that news and it's still legitimate and it's still going to hold those government contracts, I don't see why this would be a problem for people to get back into and to really just, go with the flow with it. So the one new one that I'm adding this week, we talked about NVIDIA. KT talked about NVIDIA. There was a little article. We talked about their earnings last week, how they really didn't move the market much because of earnings, but because I think that everybody was trying to figure out what was going to happen in the market. But I'm looking at AMD. And AMD, if you look at the 1 month chart on AMD has also been getting slaughtered.
Slaughtered.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, we had a high of 119. We were all the way up to 123 back in, January. Then we crept back up to 114. And since then, y'all, AMD is under $100, sitting at around 99 right now. RSI is at a 26, y'all. 26. Look at this, all these red candles. AMD not going nowhere. So my recommendation this week is AMD. Go out there, see what happens Monday. Take some leaps. Take some June calls. If you can, get some January 2025 calls, because that's what I'm doing. I've got June calls.
26.
Yeah, 20. I'm sorry, 26. Yeah, I got some June calls right now, and I'm looking to either reload those somewhere else, and get some other June calls for AMD, or keep them, add to them, and then extend to January 2026. So my pick right now, you continue to go through with your R&R, add to your kit, because those are individual stocks that are under $2. Add to them if you can, and then I'm definitely looking at Palantir and Tesla to bounce. But AMD is something that I'm going to be trying to get into this week. I already have some calls, but I'm looking to get back in. So AMD is the new stock that we haven't talked about in a while. And so that's where I'm hoping we get our bang for our buck this week.
Most definitely. I had some puts on AMD. And I was able to capture a little bit on them. I'm mad that I sold them a little too early though, because I probably would have had a lot more money. I sold them around 103. But yeah, looking good for this week. I do think AMD is due for a bounce. At the end of the day, AMD is a $200 stock. So, just all about that time and just waiting. But I do say, once again, extreme fear. This is when you start to get those positions opened up, because we know eventually this thing is going to get back up, right? It's going to come a day where AMD is back at 114, back at 122. But right now, what are you doing when it's at the valleys to be able to capitalize when it gets back to a peak? All right, man, let's take a quick break. And when we get back, we will jump into some of this platform probing and then land this plane. Let's go. All right, y'all, it is time for some platform probing. All right, y'all, in this section of platform probing, I am going to analyze, and I've been doing this for the last few weeks too, some emerging stocks that provide insight for just anybody who's looking to get into some of these stocks at the earliest bounce. Jose has also showed a few, like he said, kit was $80, right? So today we will focus on Archer Aviation, which is a ticker symbol ACHR. This company is pioneering electric vertical takeoff and landing, right? So we think about no more runways. Well, throw helicopters already.
The helipads.
Okay then. All right. So yeah, we think about just going straight up, straight back down. So a company overview for Archer Aviation is they aim to revolutionize urban transportation with this vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, positioning itself at the forefront of the air taxi market. I'm gonna just let that sink in, right? So now I wanted to put that time frame on there. So when we talk about these stocks, it's not saying tomorrow they're gonna take off, right? But when you think about over the next 10 years, where are we heading? There could be an air taxi market. Recently, the company announced a partnership with Anduril Industries to help develop a hybrid propulsion vertical takeoff and landing aircraft for, guess what? Defense applications. So this is why I wanted to kind of get in on this, right? When we think about where your Palantir was, right? When Palantir was $5, $2, $3, then it came to $8. I know I got turned on when it was $8, right? And so now Palantir got all the way up to like $125, all based on defense. We gonna have to go to war, or we gonna have to stock up to protect ourselves one way or the other. And so what their defense is looking at is being able to use these drones, right? They're looking at a kind of a drone defense in Anduril Industries. That's what they do. So they're making these drones. They're trying to make expendable drones to where they can just really, instead of spending all this money on airplanes, big jets, or whatever we using, stealth bombers, we spend that same amount of money on drones with all this vertical technology, and then we send them out. And so Anduril, that's why they came in and put in on Archer Aviation to get a little bit of their technology that they're using. And so together they have secured $430 million in equity funding, with also participation like Stellantis and United Airlines. So United Airlines has also given them funding, right? And so I want to say that their CEO was one of the CEOs that was early investors in like Meta, Tesla, some of those early pieces. He donated $1 billion, he invested $1 billion into Archer Aviation. And so as of Friday, February 28th, Archer was trading at $8.88, which reflects a 12.12% increase over the past 24 hours. And so now what I want to do is let's kind of go and look at the charts. All right, let's look at this here real quick. Bam. So these are our charts. This is Archer Aviation. And so you can see where we got started at over here Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. And the stock dropped. It was $10. We have got all the way back down to the low as $1.64. But we look right here on the monthly chart when the 9 EMA crossed over to 20. That was November 24th. And since then, we've been dancing off of that 9 EMA. Our high got up to $12.45. And since then, our low got up to $6.70. And like I said, as of Friday, it was trading around this $8.88 right here. So the biggest thing is, what I want to show you is the swings, right? Because we think about all those people who got in. You buy you 1,000 shares at $1.57. That $1,000, when was this? May of 23, right? So $1.73 right here, or either $1.63
a year ago.
$1,600. This is 23. It was $1,600. You let that $1,600 sit over time. That $1,600 as of January 2nd, 2025 would have been, what is that? What that would have been, man? 12, man, don't tell me that would have been like 12 grand.
12 grand. Well,
12 grand.
13 grand.
13. Well, let me see. 12. Yeah, you right. Well, look, you the math person, man. I'm gonna let you have it, bro. Anyway, you would have been 12 grand profit.
Wow.
12 grand profit, just letting that money sit there over time, right? And so just wanted to kind of give everybody a heads up on this Archer Aviation. Let's go back and look at a little bit more on it. Let me see. We looked at our 50. So the RSI is at a 48. And so that's placing it in neutral territory, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this suggests that neither overbought nor oversold conditions, indicating potential stability in the stock's price movement. So when we look at our resistance levels, let's go back to the chart here. And I want to come back down because you know me, man, I'm gonna get on this 4 hour. Let's see what we got here. So we're looking at this 4 hour chart. So you see we came down. Look at the last time we danced around that 200 EMA. It was $3.58 November 24th. Right? We know a bunch of crazy things started happening in the world. We got up to 1192, came all the way back down, danced on our 200 EMA at like $7.63. That is where you could have kind of said, okay, let me see what I'm going to do, because that $7.63 will now be $888. Wow. And that would have been just a few days, right? So just thinking about what you can do to get your bag. All right. Now let's look at some of the fundamentals. So they did just come out 2 days ago. Archer Aviation stock jumps 12% as the company eyes their first. Let me get to this here article. So as the company eyes, hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back to it. Okay. As the company eyes their first revenue generating midnight aircraft delivery. So this is courtesy of Guru Focus. Archer Aviation shares surged 11.9% after the company announced plans to deliver its first revenue-generating midnight aircraft later this year.
Wow.
Aiming to operate the aircraft in many early adopter markets ahead of approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the business is launching its launch edition program with Abu Dhabi Aviation as the first client. Archer intends to build up to 10 aircraft annually to assist certification and commercial deployment. It has begun manufacturing the first Midnight aircraft in its Covington, Georgia factory. To support first operations, the company will also provide engineers, technicians, and pilots to Abu Dhabi Aviation. All right, Archer is growing in the military industry, developing a hybrid vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in association with Anduril Industries. Since the aircraft is meant for military use, the manufacturer claims demand for it is more than projected, and FAA certification will not be needed, right? So now we just scooted around regulation. Let's get to the money. Okay, the corporation reported a full-year net loss of $500 million and a fourth-quarter net loss of $198 million. The quarter's total running expenditures were $124.2 million. And the non-GAAP adjusted amount comes to $98.3 million. They still claim that they have liquidity approaches $1 billion, including $302 million received via a stock issue, and they ended 2024 with $834.5 million in cash and equivalents. So that's just more information about Archer. Archer projects an adjusted EBITDA loss for the first quarter of 2025 between $95 million and $110 million. Cite ambiguity about the stock-based pay and other expenditures. The corporation did not provide a GAAP reconciliation. Archer wants to market Midnight as an air taxi service and is building electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft for urban air transportation. So as we can see, Archer is already making money and working with Dubai to kind of get this technology out of there. Right now, they cannot be. We're not going to let Dubai get too ahead of us. So that's why we already got them inside of the government. The government is already taking watch of these companies. So you never know what could happen. Next one here is from the Dow Jones. Archer Aviation is maintained at a buy by Canaccord Genuity. All right, so it's not too much on with that story, but just know that those are some of the ratings that they're getting. They were also, and is this showing up on here? Good. They were also rated as a buy, maintained at a buy by Needham. So as we can see, target raised to $13 from $11, and right now we are at $8. So that means you still have time. For the safe bets, the safe money will be waiting until they cross here, because that means we are out of the woods and we could be getting ready to head back up to this $11 that we came to, and then we got to make a decision there. But I would definitely wait until we cut that $9.11. Once we do that, oh man, hold on, here we go. So now let's go look back. And now we can see, I wanted to show you a little bit. This is where we're currently at. And so as you can see, we still got this 60 EMA that is above. We want to wait until we cross that 60 because we don't know what can happen. But if we cross over 911, right, we close above that, you can wait till you get a breakout and a retest. Then I think we get in, and then we kind of see where we're going to go from there, getting back up to that top price of $11.76. Because let's say that $9 right here, if you buy $900, right, that'll still turn that 900. If we get back here and just retest, that'll still turn that 900 into almost 1,200, which could be through a quick $300 turnaround, you know. So just never know what could happen. All right, I think that'll do it for my platform probing. Archer Aviation, you can see what's going on with the company. You see they are already selling. They are still taking losses, but they do have a lot of cash on hand. So that's something that we always want to look at. Go check that out if you want more information. And that'll do it, man. What you think about that Archer, man?
Man, Archer is something that we used to think about back when they first had their SPAC.
Yeah.
21, 22, and you know, now look
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I start right there, man.
I have to go look to see if I have some get some calls.
Yeah. And kind of roll them out. Man, well, I would say, man, I sure wish I would have paid attention when it was $1 or something.
Man,
See, man, even if you would have put $163, you would have sent that $163 all the way up to $1,200. Just let it sit there.
Lee, well, I don't know, dude. Why?
Yeah, man.
Why?
Hey, man, well, that's all right. We here now. Hey. All right, y'all. That will do it. Let's take a quick break, and then when we get back, we will land this plane. All right, man. As we get ready to close this thing out, final thoughts, man.
Just going back, I did do some research real quick while the break. Archer, $20 calls for January 2026, only $1.17 or $117.
Wow. $117
for a $20 call.
Wow.
So depending on what the market does, hey, end of year, get it.
Hey, yeah, we got a lot of time ahead of us, right? And so, well, all depending on Abu Dhabi. All right. Look, well, for me, interested to see what happens with this SPY. We took off. I think we went $9 on Friday. So interested to see how we're about to, if we cross that 60 or if we reject. Right now, if we reject, it would not be a little bad. Get out of this. But then after that, I think it's going to take off, man. So let's see what happens between now and then. Check out that crypto. Trump got it going to the moon. So many people are being made millionaires by just looking. So just waiting on this sheep, baby. Let's go. Sheep, just get $1, man. Just get 1 cent, right? Man. Look. All right, y'all. That will do it. This is KT with my co-host
JoJo, baby.
Hey, for the Administrators Podcast. We will see y'all next week.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
KTTV.